Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're staying safe, hope you're keeping well. Today we are playing a really cool off-meta deck, courtesy of Dane, who I classify as a wild mode specialist. It's his Bone Roller Rogue, Deathrattle Rogue, and Dane is a guy that specialises in taking off-meta cards, off-meta decks, making them work, making them competitive. I have a lot of respect for him, and this deck right here, on the surface you see Deathrattle minions, you see N'Zoth the Corruptor, and you think, alright, kill off the Deathrattle minions, play N'Zoth, bring them back to life, job done. Actually no, it's a little bit more complicated, and we'll get into some of the cool combos that you can pull off in a minute. Before we look at win rates, I'd just like to point out a really nice inclusion in the deck, Unstable Ghoul. Love this inclusion, really good against hyper-aggressive decks, can help to clear boards. Now let's look at the win rate. So far, small sample size of games, 5 wins, 2 losses, 71% win rate. I'm happy with this. We beat 3 priests. And Reno Priests, of course, is everywhere on the ladder at the moment. You can just outvalue them with this deck. They can be very slow to develop. And if you can just gather your resources quickly enough, you can get a massive board presence going. And they don't have a way of dealing with it. So if you can get in before the Psychic Scream, if you can get in before Mass AoE, if you can get in before Shadow Reaper Anduin, you stand a good chance of winning. We beat a Warlock and we beat a Mage, also very impressive. Lost to a Warlock, sometimes Q-Block can just get a bigger board presence before you can. Void Caller in particular can just be very challenging if it summons a Doom Guard and then they just start cubing it and smashing you in the face. And sometimes Demon Hunter just out-aggroes you. So, in terms of cool combos, Roll the Bones. Wow, I love to see a card like this used competitively. Draw a card. If it has Deathrattle, cast this again. You have a lot of Deathrattle minions in this deck. So if you play Roll the Bones, hopefully you can start filling up your hand. That's very convenient, because you can then play Anka the Buried. And basically, Ankar's battle cry, as it says there, will change each Deathrattle minion in your hand into a 1/1 that costs 1. So a Scrapyard Colossus that costs 1, for example. On the following turn, maybe you play Spirits of Umbra in combination with a 1-cost Colossus, maybe 2. Umbra, of course, will then summon a load of 7/7s on the board, and maybe you have a 1-cost cube on the Colossus. Get some more 7/7s. Do you see the theme? Do you see where we're going? We're just going for insane value. Let's not forget Terran Gorefiend in this deck too. If Umbra is on the board, you basically wipe your other friendly minions, Deathrattle, resummon them, +1/+1. Umbra comes back to life as well, and you get a load of other Deathrattle minions with +1/+1. But because Umbra's on the board, those Deathrattles of those Colossus minions will trigger, and just see the value train go on and on. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, this can just overwhelm your opponent. If you do it early enough, they can't make a comeback. If they have mass AoE, let's not forget we have Deathrattle minions. They may clear the initial bodies, but then we get the Deathrattles triggering and more minions coming back onto the board. The thing you're really afraid of is Psychic Scream, of course, so you want to try and swarm the board before they can play it. But anyway, let's look at the first game. And we're going up against a priest. So, the mulligan with this deck, Mad Scientist is probably something you're looking for, perhaps. Necrene Blade as well. I'm going to keep Dirty Tricks, because it's card draw. After your opponent casts a spell, draw 2 cards. This is a priest. He's probably got spells. So we get card draw. I'm pretty happy with that. So we just play the secret here. Nothing else really to do.
Mind if I roll knee?
And that is a golden Ankar, by the way. Can we just point that out? Maybe golden Ankar gives you better RNG. I didn't play the weapon there, just because I want to wait for a more opportune moment.
Let the pain speak to me.
Playing Kobold Illusionist here just doesn't seem good because of what's in our hand. Playing the weapon on that turn was 3 attack for a 3 health minion. That felt reasonable. I think the weapon would have been wasted on a loot hoarder when we could have just hero powered 1 damage for 1 health. It was a fair trade-off. Turn 5. Turn 5.
Justice is mine.
Not enough value on the Ankar there, so we hold back for a while. Was that a waste of my Necrium Blade?
I hope you like my
The play I just made? How scared were we of a Kazakus on board, a 3-3? Were we that scared? There's the card draw. Here's another Necrium Blade. Okay. I think we need some more cards, to be frank.
Justice is
Alright.
mine.
We'll just keep this weapon ready. If he plays another big threat, we can get another Rush Poison minion on the board to deal with it. So I think this is fine. I think it's absolutely fine. Should I be holding back on this weapon?
Unity, precision, perfection.
Am I just rushing in too quickly? Oh, backstab's big here. So backstab lets me preserve the 1/1 poisonous minion. That's pretty threatening, actually. It may force him to expend AoE on it. If he does, I'm happy. We also keep the weapon intact.
I see.
Ooh, I see you. Okay. Well, that's a good target for our 1/1, I think. Is it?
I'll show them.
Yeah, that's fine. We're just keeping the pressure up on the board. These minions don't have very high attack power, but they're annoying. The 3/3, the Kobold Illusionist in particular, is annoying. He doesn't know that my hand is crap. He doesn't know that there are no Deathrattle minions in my hand. Well, maybe there is now. Okay. Maybe not the Deathrattle minion I was looking for.
We're gonna be rich.
Oh wow. Is that Tempo Reno for 5? Interesting. Anyway, what do we do here? Do I utilise the cube on this turn? Maybe we see what we get from the 3/3. Oh, interesting. That's actually incredibly relevant here. I was expecting to get screwed over, and for a 1/1 Ankar or a 1/1 N'Zoth to come down.
Mine.
Huh. Okay, what do we get? Catrick, duplicates, auto defense matrix. Duplicate seems very good in this deck.
Quickly.
Huh. Card draw. And what do we go with finally? Hidden wisdom. Okay. We could be in for a lot of card draw here, potentially. Oh, wow, he Psychic Screams that board. Interesting. Was that a board you really wanted to scream?
Ooh, monsters behind you.
Our home. Tombs.
Life and hope are worth fighting.
Okay, he just commits the Alexstrasza. But nothing more. Interesting. Feels like we've got options here. What do we want to commit to this board? How do we want to deal with the Alex, most importantly? We can kill it. Okay. That's not so good. But this is fine. Ooh, that's a bad one to burn. It feels like we're not going to be dead anytime soon because of all the healing we now have access to. We've seen Psychic Scream. He's a Reno deck. There's only one copy. So from this point forward, our boards are going to be super threatening because he can't just shove the cards, the minions, back into our deck. He's going to have to expend other AoE, and because they're Deathrattle minions, some of these are just going to be coming back to life and are going to cause him additional problems. I'm holding on to Ankar because I'm waiting for the Scrapyard Colossus. I'm waiting for Sylvanas. I'm waiting for these higher value Deathrattle minions to come to me. But we've obviously confused him here. He seems flummoxed.
Well played.
Maybe he regrets using that Psychic Scream. Oh wow! Rage quit at 30 health.
Versus Illidan. You cannot hunt a demon hunter.
I have found my prey.
You cannot hunt the Demon Hunter. I beg to differ. Okay. Do we keep these three? I think we do. This seems like a good hand. We just need to get something useful
None will survive.
for the Kobold Illusionist. We need to get a Colossus, a Sylvanas, maybe a Kartuk Defender
Will never catch me.
if we're desperate for healing. He is the hyper-aggressive version. His hero power does 2 damage. Alright. I'm just going to put a roadblock in his way. Hopefully this forces him to hero power, tank it, he doesn't develop anything else, he floats 1 mana. So there's some justification to this. The counter-argument is, why am I using that now? Why don't I hold off for a bit longer
Grow impatient.
when there'll be more 1 health minions potentially on the board? It's like too hasty here. I coined it out knowing I have another 2-drop to come, but... Oh, okay, he doesn't float mana. He has a Firefly.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Interesting. Is this my first time facing a Demon Hunter playing Firefly?
Burn away to ash.
Okay. Wow. Silence and mana negation on the same turn. Well, that was a good turn. Oh my god, charging horsey. Not seen that for a year? 2 years? Charging horse? Okay. Unstable ghoul again. Is that the play, or do we hold off on it?
Monsters behind.
Maybe we get lucky and the illusionist brings out a ghoul. What would the ghoul have done on that turn? It wouldn't have killed the 2 health minions. Oh, he wants to see what's behind the illusionist. And it's a ghoul! Huh, get wrecked. Well, it's not going to clear this board, but we have another ghoul next turn to clean up. Okay, he wants to preserve the horse rider, sure. But we just clean up next turn, right? Do we? It's only 2 minions. It's only 2.
Monsters behind.
I think we wait. That's our last unstable ghoul, so we want to be cautious with how we use it. Carnivorous Cube on the ghoul could be interesting. Does he want to kill this illusionist? Again? See what's behind it? He's doing it. It's very brave. Very brave. What if it was a Colossus that comes out? And he doesn't know what's in my deck, obviously. Okay. That's a whiff. If we'd got the ghoul again, we would have been very happy. We have accomplished one amazing thing, though.
Time grows short.
We're making him think. If you can make a demon hunter think,
Enemies will fall.
you've accomplished something massive.
Hey, I got you, friend.
Alright, this looks really bad for us. This looks really, really bad, actually. And with a 6 attack minion on board, I don't know how we deal with that.
Think. Justice is mine.
This certainly is not going to deal with it. It'll kill the 2-1. But we're going to be taking... We're probably taking 6 to the face anyway on this turn. And from this point onwards, unless we get the taunts in play, we're just dead. Oh, we're just dead anyway. Leroy, wow. So, a very hyper-aggressive demon hunter. We just couldn't match up to him.
Undoing.
The light shall bring victory.
None can escape my fury.
Alright, another priest. Double illusionist in hand, rolled bones, Necrian blade. Is this a full keep? Or do we get rid of one illusionist? I think it's a full keep. Again though, we need to get something good.
Greetings.
Oh, got a greetings.
Amazing.
We need to get Colossus, Sylvanus. We need to get high value Deathrattle minions in our hand.
Wish is my suggestion.
To make the illusionist work here, he's going for the wild growth play, clearly. How interesting. He may regret that as the game progresses.
Justice is mine.
I want to kill that because I don't want that going back to hand. The last Reno Priest we played against had Seance, and I don't want Zephyrus going back. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's really good. That's really, really good value. Look at our hand. Speaking of value, that's good for him. This feels very reminiscent of the last game. Where 1/1 poisonous minions were killing 5/5s. Deja vu. Okay. Is this a hand that I want to discount now with Anka? Yep, I think so.
And so is my curse.
So we kill that, protect the 5/5, and now we look forward to fireworks with Umbra and 1/1 Deathrattle minions. Although Bran Kazakus could be a bit of a disaster for us, but I think it's more of a disaster on turn 10 when he gets the mass polymorph effect for the board. If we can generate value before turn 10, I think we're okay. So it's a race now. It's a race for us to fill the board and kill him or do serious damage before he gets to turn 10. Or before he finds Psychic Scream.
The greatest virtue is patience.
So snap play the Umbra. Let's get a 7/7. And sure. Another 7/7. And a couple more 7/7s. Okay, deal with that. Psychic Scream or bust. What other mass AoE do they run? Apart from the Kazakus potion. A 5-cost Kazakus potion doesn't do anywhere near enough here.
I must consider.
So it is the 10-cost potion that we are scared of. But he's a long way from turn 10, and I think this is game over. Oh, mass hysteria. That's the other thing that you need to be worried about. But again, we have Deathrattle minions. I think we're okay. So this was turn 6 for me, by the way. Four damage? Sure. Yeah. Have some more 7/7s, why not?
Knowledge is power.
None can escape my fury.
Knowledge is power, apparently. I'm expecting a slow start for him. He would possibly be a Reno Mage, in which case I guess you don't want to keep the Unstable Ghoul. We don't dirty tricks for card draw. I'm a massive fan of this card in this meta. Oh, it's Secrets Mage. Okay, so this is going to be a relatively fast-paced game then. I'd expected Reno Mage. It looks like Secrets Mage.
My cargo, my business.
Apex Smuggler, wow. I love that card, by the way. I think it's quite refreshing in Secrets Mage. Adds a new dynamic.
Justice is mine.
Oh, that's painful. we do have the Blight Nozzle Crawler. So that should actually help. Oh, he's not... Okay. Just plays a secret. Sure. Alright. It's not explosive runes.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Okay. He's loading up for more turns with the smuggler.
I'm free, and so is my curse.
With those cheap secrets that he's drawing. This is not the best value from Anka, but I need to get something on the board.
My cargo, my business.
But here he goes. Time for value, I guess.
My cargo, my business.
Oh, that's frustrating.
I'm late.
And that's just rude. A 5-5. Wow. How do we deal with this board? Can't attack with Anka. And what Deathrattle do we want to trigger with the weapon? I guess we want poisonous. But what are we killing? What's more threatening on this board?
Justice is mine.
And if it's duplicate again, we're sad. It's not, thank God. Because arguably any of those minions going back to hand with duplicate would be terrible for us. Okay, that could have been worse.
Quickly.
Okay, give me value. Oh. That's not great. I'm holding back on the Kartut Defender
Cargo, my business.
because I want value
Ready for this?
with Umbra and the cube.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Because how do you beat this mage? One way is to heal constantly and then find a way to clear the board.
The greatest virtue is patience.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be a challenge for him to get through. The issue is that he has the Flak Mage. That's very problematic. Depending on how many secrets are in hand. Could he conceivably wipe the board here? This is the question. Doesn't look like it. And we're at 30. For turn 7 against the Secrets Mage, that's very, very impressive. Very impressive, and we've got more healing on board. And in hand, actually.
On wings of destruction they come.
Test for a counter spell. Happy to give this up? Yep.
Justice is mine.
Okay, we know it's not duplicate.
Away, intruder! Away, intruder!
And I think from this point we just win. Yeah, we just win from this point onwards. He can't kill us because of all this healing value. And we've drawn Sylvanas. We need the Colossus. And if we ever get N'Zoth, I mean, there's no way. Yeah, play all the secrets you want. One of those is probably Flame Ward, and I think I need to trigger it. I think I need to trigger it. We lose our board though. Or we lose a good chunk of our board. We'll get 2 Kartut defenders back, but...
Away, intruder!
Alright. We still have a board. We're still at 30 health.
An incredible discovery!
So not much of a turn for him. Although not much of a turn for me. So we're both kind of biding our time here. Ooh, a frog. Oh, hello. That's game over. The attack power of these minions is not especially high, but they're going to be awkward to break through. The frog is actually doing some work for him. I'm quite impressed. Fireballing my face, not going to do much for you. They're just going to heal up. Oh, a cube. Glorious.
Well done. You win.
Amazing.
Okay, let's look at our final game. This is against a Warlock. Now, got to assume it's a cube lock. Perhaps. I don't see Reno locks much anymore. Or even discard locks for that matter. Not at this rank. And my deck tracker has decided that it doesn't want to listen to me. That's fair enough. But you guys are familiar with this deck by now. So you know what's in this deck.
Hail, friend.
Well, that was a hard decision. Turn 2 tap.
is
I'm going to hold back. I don't see a reason to swing. It's not as if we're going to activate a Deathrattle next turn with the weapon,
side effects.
so no reason to swing.
Trust me.
Tap last. Interesting.
Justice is mine.
Oh look, there's the deck tracker. So we're setting up now, thinking ahead. We swung with the weapon, so we're setting up. We've got Ankar next turn to get the 1-cost Colossus. And then we have Umbra. Is this going to be a race?
I'm free, and so is my curse.
We are racing against the demons. That's not a big demon. That's absolutely fine. But yes, it's a race of Deathrattle minions for us versus his demons. Who can build the bigger board quicker? And who can hit whose face quicker? I think Umbra gives us the edge. If we could protect her after we've played her, I think we're going to be in a very good position as well. I'm imagining that's not the demon he wanted. Oh. He's going to try and force it out. Doesn't succeed. Okay. Although I'm happy that he utilised Dark Skies there. Alright, here we go.
Is patience.
So, definitely one Colossus here. But do we want to play... Do we want to play Terran Gorefiend here? Is it worth it now? Just get the value while we can? I think so.
Justice is mine.
Oh, look at the value. Look at the value! Alright.
This one will prove very useful.
My board is bigger than your board. And unless you have a mass AoE, well, even that doesn't help you. Yeah, mass AoE, Terran Gorefiend would still pose a problem with the Deathrattle.
No, don't. It's still good.
Wow, we've just outpaced him. Even that doesn't do anything. It doesn't do enough. Huh.
Greatest virtue is patience.
I am only more deadly.
Impressive. You win this time.
Wow. That's impressive. So, this deck is ladder worthy for sure, and thank you to Dane for the list. Just incredible amount of fun to play. It's an off-meta deck that it relies on you know, being able to set up these big combo turns. So you've got to be able to draw your resources. You have to get lucky with rolled bones, because sometimes rolled bones could only draw you one card. Right, if you don't draw a Deathrattle minion. So sometimes it can just be terrible. 2 cost, draw 1 card. It's not the worst thing in the world. That card draw could still be important for you, even if it's just 1 card. The other potential problem is if you've already got a relatively full hand, you play Roll the Bones, you could just end up overdrawing. So that's something to worry about, although that hasn't really happened to me yet. I think drawing 2 or 3 Deathrattle minions from Roll the Bones, helping you set up an Ankar turn, it's just game winning. And they don't see it coming because nobody's playing this deck. Nobody is playing Ankar. Proof again that somebody like Dane is able to take cards not seen in the meta and absolutely make them work. We've beaten Keyblock with this deck. We've beaten Reno Priest more than once. So that is proof that the deck works. Proof that it has value. If you want to see more gameplay of this deck, head over to Dane's YouTube channel because he's got gameplay on there and you'll probably see him play it better than me. So if you want a more detailed and accurate viewing of how to play the deck with all of its intricacies, go to Dane. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. As always, I really, really appreciate your support. Hope you are keeping safe and hope you are keeping well. And I will see you all again very soon, as always, for more Wild Mode fun.